Game number 2 of the '97 season came 2 weeks later against Central Florida. Another unheralded opponent, the Golden Knights came to Lincoln with an opportunity to make a name for themselves against the nation's premier program.
Let's go, Bobby.
What was expected to be another walk in the park for the Huskers turned out to be an early season wake-up call for a Nebraska team seeking its 3rd national title in 4 years.
Central Florida was a very good team, and they had an excellent quarterback, some decent receivers, and overall they had a very good game against, especially a top 5 team. And we've learned not to take any teams for granted.
Led by Top Gun quarterback Dante Culpepper, the Golden Knights got the Big Reds' attention with an early score and a 7-0 lead after 1 quarter of play. But after the break, it didn't take long for NU to get on track. A 23-yard burst up the middle by Joel Makovica got the Huskers close. Then a 16-yard pass from Scott Frost to a wide-open Sheldon Jackson got them on the board.
I saw the safety had me man-to-man, and I don't know what happened after that. Next thing you know, I'm jogging in the end zone. Safety's about 5-6 yards behind me. Scott looked at me, threw the ball at me, and that was all she wrote.
After a Central Florida field goal made it 10-7, sophomore Frankie London engineered another Husker scoring drive that was highlighted by Kenny Cheatham's spectacular catch.
Fires a pass to Cheatham. He makes a great grab. He's marked down at the 13-yard line.
2 plays later, it was London who gave Nebraska the lead again, but only momentarily. The Golden Knights answered back and took a 17-14 lead into the locker room at halftime, leaving the Huskers to regroup and refocus in order to keep their championship hopes in sight.
You could tell that we had a young defense out there. Guys were still taking some plays off, and they just have to understand that, now that they're playing at Nebraska, there's no such thing as taking a play off.
The second half was a much different and better story for Big Red fans. Correll Buckhalter ran for 2 touchdowns for the 2nd straight game, as NU scored 17 unanswered points in the 3rd quarter to take a lead that it would not relinquish. The Blackshirts saw to that. All-America rush-in Grant Wistrom led the charge with his 1st sack of the season. Mike Brown established himself as one of the team's toughest tacklers. And Jerome Peterson left his mark on the game with the 1st interception of his career. While Central Florida did manage to get back on the board in the 4th quarter, Nebraska's response was immediate thanks to another Frost to Jackson hookup.
Over the middle, got Sheldon Jackson wide open. He's to the 20, the 15. Sheldon Jackson, what a great pass and a great catch.
Frost finished it off himself for the final margin of victory. While 38-24 was much closer than expected, and for most in the Husker camp, a little too close for comfort, Nebraska's win over Central Florida may have provided the perfect preparation for one of the Big Red's biggest tests in years. Up next, the battle in Seattle with 2nd-ranked